If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. I put out new Storybook Brawl videos every single day at 9:30 p.m. EST, and turns out most of you guys aren't subscribed yet, so what are you waiting for? I'm a pretty small channel, so I do also pay a lot of attention to comments and likes, so let me know what type of content you guys want to see. Enjoy the video. I really love this game, and I'm hoping that you guys will too. This is using the brand new Curse King hero, who is new to this patch. Well, it's not a new hero, but it's totally reworked. Now the Curse King gives you an additional gold each turn, and you take 3 damage unless you cast a spell every turn. So we're going to cast the Genie's Wish, get a 4 glory, and we're going to pick up this Black Cat because it's the only one of these 3 units that even has a chance to win the first combat. If I'm up against a Sherwood Sure Shot or one of those other 2 units that you just saw, I would have won the 4 glory. With the Sherwood Sure Shot, I'd have to attack first, but you get the idea. Unfortunately, we're up against a 2/2, so doesn't matter, we didn't win. With our extra gold here, we're going to cast an Eeny Meeny, grabbing a Mad Mim, which goes really well with our Black Cat, so I am totally okay with that. Then I can take a Kitty Cut Purse, or I can take a Minotaur. Both of these are honestly pretty good. I think I should take the Kitty Cut Purse first because then I'll have additional gold next turn. But I think I will lock this Minotaur because I've got 3 evil units and Minotaur buffs up your evil units, so that will buff up everything that we're working with. So taking the Kitty Cut Purse, let's see. Oh, that's good. The Sure Shot misses the cat, so we will get the Slay, and then we will win this combat because of the +1/+1 on the Mad Mim. So there you go. Cursed King is really interesting. I basically, in this form that I'm playing him, well, I should talk about this turn first. This turn is really powerful. Getting a Shrink Ray on turn 4, or maybe it's called Shrink Spell, where when you already have 2 extra gold, 1 from Cursed King, 1 from Kitty Cut Purse, and then can just buy 4 units, that is an extremely powerful power spike there. Most of our opponents are going to be looking at having 4 units on the 3rd turn, and we have 7. So we are just really powerful. Are playing against a Merlin here, so Merlin's going to have some larger units, but we have got more units than any of our competitors. Back to Cursed King. I think it's really interesting, but I wanted to try it out, wanted to see what was up with it, and it's just a really interesting unit here. Yeah, you can see even though my opponent has a huge Sherwood Sure Shot, which is pretty good, we are going to be able to win this still pretty easily just because we have so much units here. I'm going to take the Fanny. At some point in this video, I'll talk about my thoughts on Cursed King. We see Monster Manual, pretty good. Spinning Wheel, okay, get some more gold. Or Piggy Bank. And the wheels start turning in my head, and I'm like, hold on, Piggy Bank, when we're already getting this additional income, this could be really good. Just double checking the board before I take the Queen of Hearts here, seeing if I wanted to like roll and then buy a spell or something, try to find a dwarf maybe. But we're going to take Queen of Hearts and then we're going to buy this health potion. And yeah, Cursed King is just really interesting because you do have flexibility with that extra gold if you really can't, like on turn 2 when you've got 3 gold. There's a chance it's probably just better to view it as a forbidden fruit. Didn't work out the same for us this game, but just view it as a forbidden fruit and take the damage, you know? But wherever you can, you are going to want to try to cast a spell because that is going to give you some flexibility in your life total, despite not giving you flexibility on the current turn. So I'm actually just going to pause it here for a second because I've got a little bit more to say. It winds up being that Cursed King doesn't actually give you extra gold. It kind of just makes it so that you can cast extra spells because your extra gold has to go into those spells more often than not. However, there are some ways to
try to get around this, such as like free spells and stuff. One of the other reasons that I was really happy to pick up Queen of Hearts in the previous turn is Queen of Hearts is super strong. And especially if you can pick it up on 3.0, we've got a board here that is pretty evil. And the fact that our board is already so strong, especially because of that shrink ray earlier on, means that we might be able to find some ways to just ride out what we've already done and actually start getting interest on this piggy bank. Because once you start doing that, you can start to really snowball and do some really powerful stuff. So for that reason, on this turn, I am just going to be purchasing the sugar and spice. And basically doing this so that I don't take 3 damage. I don't think that the sugar and spice on this, my only good unit that pumps other good units, like that's not worth anything to me. But I do want to not take 3 damage if I could help it. And the way that this math works out, next turn we'll have 7 gold, so that's 13, plus we'll get 1 more gold from Kitty Cut Purse. That'll put us up to 14, and then 1 gold from Cursed King should put us up to 15. That's if we slay with our kitty. But if we slay, next turn we've got 15 gold, which is a multiple of 5. And that's important because Piggy Bank gives 1 interest per every 5 gold that you have. So we are going to look to try to hit certain breakpoints and things, and the math is pretty crazy. Unfortunately, we don't get to slay with the cat here, playing up against Jack's Giant, so an additional 2 health on everything is going to make things a little bit more difficult than I would have liked. I think we are still going to have the stats to be able to win this. It's just going to... Oh, no, we're not. Yeah, too much health there on the front line that their stuff was able to hang on just well enough. But this turn looks really promising because we get to replace our 2 non-evil units with 2 evil units, which will pump up the Queen of Hearts significantly. I do have to figure out the positioning as well. And then we also have a 1-cost spell. So we can throw that on the Kitty Cut Purse. We can use the Mim to support both of the Black Hats. Like, all of this seems really good. We probably win this combat. And honestly, I'm looking now at trying not to even use my gold like on the next turn, potentially. We're going to have 10 gold from this turn, plus 2 interest, plus 8 gold from next turn. So that is 20 gold, plus potentially 1 from the cat and 1 from the Cursed King. The longer that we can go without spending this gold, the better it's going to be for us. Now, level 4 is a threshold that you want to consider. The strongest units in the game are going to be level 4 units and level 6 units. So we're not spending any of our gold on level 3, which gives us so much more gold on level 4, and even just that alone is enough to make the piggy bank pretty powerful, just because we're going to have more access to level 4 units than our opponents. So even just that, I think, would be decently powerful. However, if we can also do something to set ourselves up so that once we're going into level 5, we can kind of roll back the spending a little bit and try to save that gold for level 6, that is an additional power spike because there are a lot of powerful units on level 6. So, looking at this shop here, Candy Rain's a free spell. Maybe I want the Mad Mim because it doesn't change my interest breakpoint and it gives me a double. So this would still allow me to sit at 22 gold. I can use it pretty decently on the board. We'll just cut the Bad Billy and then we will buy a Candy Rain and that's it. That's our spell. The board is not super powerful for us right now, but Queen of Hearts can certainly carry combats. Mad Mim Black Cat can carry combats. And honestly, our board is just like super synergistic. Our board is really strong right now for only including one 3-cost unit. You got to look at, we've purchased one 3-cost unit this entire game. Everything else has costed 2. And that's a great way also to save some of this money. Now, I do potentially want to start spending my money soon. And I think next turn I'm going to feel confident with some of my interest that I'll wind up spending like my turn's allotment of gold. So next turn I get 10 gold for the turn. 9 because it's whatever turn it is, +1 from Cursed King. Maybe an additional +1 from the kitty as well. Yeah, we are going to get +1 from the kitty as well. And this combat's looking, wow, really, really good for us. Though, let's not count our chickens too quickly. If we attack that broccoli, things could go south for us. We really need to attack into that happy little tree. Wow. Okay, I got super lucky. Wow, we did not touch that broccoli. No dessert for us. We did not touch our broccoli, but we do have a Queen of Hearts. And now we've got, I didn't do the math here, 35 gold. 35 gold going into 4.1. This is pretty incredible. We probably want to start spending some of that gold. So the main thing that I want to look for here is Vulture, though Cat's Call. Hold up. So I need to cast a spell this turn. Cat's Call is an insane spell on our board. Enough that I just buy that. I don't have to buy any other units. And I sell my bench to get back up to 35 for the turn. And I think we will actually win this combat, believe it or not. So the Cat's Call is going to give us 2 4-1s in positions. Let me see. I'll just use my mouse. Right here, there will be a 4-1. Right here, there will be a 4-1 because this will be dead. Right here, we'll have a 7-1. And then the totality of these units will all be giving additional stats to Queen of Hearts. So really good, kind of an insane spell there, to be totally honest. I was definitely not rolling for Cat's Call, but when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, if that just ain't the perfect dang spell. So really, really good for us. Chupacabra's going to trade off with a Black Cat. Our opponent does have a pretty decent board here with these doublies and this Monkey's Paw. This is going to be a lot, but we get a decent selection here right now. We're going to at least deal some damage to my opponent's stuff using this like mediocre aspect of our board, and we won't actually get to clear too much of it. Their backline will stay. Oh, actually, Queen of Hearts was able to slay one more thing. It could have hit the Princess White, but you know what? We'll take it. Now we're at 50 gold. That's crazy. Sorry. This game is just so crazy to me. Absolutely wonderful. At this point, I do think that I need to start rolling and casting some spells. Or not casting some spells, finding some units is what I'd meant to say. Actually improving our board a little bit. We're up against Sharon, though. Yeah, okay. No, that's something that actually does improve our board a little bit, but I don't want it. Now I do. Okay, I felt like I did want a Sporko here. Interestingly, going to pass it up the first time. And you know what? A pair of Hippocamps do seem like they will be strong as well. I can also take a Queen of Hearts and look for some more things. Spend about 15 gold, or actually spend about 20 gold already this turn. Masquerade Ball seems like it's fine in terms of something else to throw out there. And I think I'm going to cut my kitty cut purse at this point. Oh, I'm not actually going to. I'm going to roll one more time. I find the Vulture here. Do I have enough time to put it in? Looks like I do. I sell first just to make sure that I'm going to have enough econ with that. And now we're playing the game from a little bit more of a traditional angle. Our Queen of Hearts gets sniped, but we knew that was possible since we added it to the front row. But these Hippocamps are a pretty decent thing just to actually build some presence on the board here and with the fact that we have all of these animals going. And then the vulture is just going to remain a strong unit. We are going to lose this combat because of my opponent's sarcophagus, and I would also like to pick up a sarcophagus ourselves, but instead we'll just pick up a black cat. Kind of hurts our unit generation, so that part of it is a little bit awkward. And I have no clue which treasure I pick here. I feel like I picked the spinning wheel. Oh, I just skip. Okay. That's totally fine because you're not going to get that much from the spinning wheel anyways. And it's like, okay, so spinning wheel is passive income. It's 1 gold a turn. But the fact that I took that 2 gold because I just skipped the treasure means that I've got 30 gold right now, which means that that 2 gold is going to generate into an additional gold next turn. So I actually skipped for 3 gold and potentially even more. So you do have to make some really weird considerations when you are playing with Piggy Bank. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend that you try it out. I think that our board is pretty powerful here, enough that we'll probably be able to get away with, again, minimal spending next turn. Try to bring us into level 6 with as much gold as possible, and then we'll roll down and see what madness we can get up to. Our black cat's pretty strong for just a black cat, able to dispense with my opponent's nutcracker, and then vulture is just barely going to not be able to take out the sure shot, but the Sporkos can clean it up. Then my vulture will trade with Romeo, and we will lose to Juliet, but we're only taking 6 here, so gotta count that as somewhat of a win. I'm gonna do something a little bit different with this video. I don't love the commentary that I recorded originally, and I think part of the reason that I don't like the commentary that I recorded originally is I don't love how this game plays out. I do really like this pickup here. I'm going to go for the Moonsong Horn, and that makes a lot of sense because it really does synergize well with the Cursed King's hero power. The Cursed King will have to play a spell every turn, but as we see in the case of this For Glory, if that spell is free, then you don't have to worry about taking any damage, and you're actually getting to use that extra gold that the Cursed King gives you rather than just putting it towards spells. But this is the decision that I disagree with a lot more. I think Ancient Sarcophagus and Eye of Ares are both really strong, but I actually instead here opt for the Ring of Revenge, which I can kind of understand why I go for it with the current units that I have. It's good with Sporko supporting Black Cat, and it will be good in the future for Hippocampus if we've got a bunch of animals dying in the front row. Hippocampus already has high health, but you do need a way to give it a little bit more attack typically, and you can do so by Ring of Revenging it and just having a bunch of animals die in front of it. This combat, it looks like it's going to be a little bit tough to take out this shoulder fairy. We're just going to trade with our hippocampuses in the front, and the Ring of Revenge is not going to be enough to save us here, unfortunately, as their shoulder fairy takes down our vulture. So we take 9 and go down to 7. But now we're level 6, and I don't want to detract from this. This is still a really, really sweet part of this video. Getting to level 6 with 62 gold, we're basically like a better APOC or something, and that's really how I should have viewed this. I should have viewed this as like, okay, we're level 6, time to start over, time to rebuild fresh. I think to an extent I do with this Oni King pickup, but I definitely overvalued Oni King at the time that I was playing this game. So that's going to make the content here a little bit weird. I'm going to pick up Grandmother when Pied Piper is on the table too. So I definitely think that I have grown a lot. This was like the beginning of the last patch, and I've definitely gotten a lot better since then. But then we see a summoning portal, and that does kind of justify some of the stuff that we've been doing as far as playing for these these hippocamps. Still don't exactly know what the Oni King is doing here, but because I have the Oni King, I'm going to pick up the Friendly Spirit, and then I also get a hippocampus triple. So from here, I can go Deck of Many Things, I can go 6 of Shields, but I'm just going to go ahead and skip that treasure and then move into the next combat here. So when our Friendly Spirit attacks, it will get +10/+10, and then it will be able to throw that on something. And let's see. Oh, it didn't actually die. Never mind, I did not realize that. So yeah, that's actually going to stick around for a little bit. And we'll see what it pumps in a little bit here. It will die thanks to the Sark trigger and the River Wash Mermaid. And then Oni King will trade once it gets the Friendly Spirit buff, and we'll take out Sharon. I do think Summoning Portal plus Big Bad Wolf is definitely a direction, and that's probably what pushes us more than anything here going forward. I think Summoning Portal was already like a pretty strong 5-cost treasure, and now it is a 4-cost treasure, so it is a little bit easier to get with your vultures and your hippocampuses and the like. But that does mean that I'm heavily incentivized to pursue something like a pumpkin or like a Bearstein comp. And it does look like I am considering going the pumpkin route here as I pick up another Oni King, and then we see another Friendly Spirit, and I believe I pick this up too. Now again, I don't agree with these plays, but we can still talk about them here and figure out what went wrong, what went right. And I do believe I also sell probably my Black Cat and pick up this Toil and Trouble. Well, I do it in the opposite order. I do want to stay at 25 gold for the piggy bank so that we're still gaining like an extra 5 gold a turn from that and just slowly start to spend it and increase the power of our board. We do have to do it sooner rather than later or we'll just die, but it looks like we're spending enough to stay on pace with our opponents here and still gain some passive income at the same time. So here comes our first pumpkin. Our first pumpkin isn't going to give us that much because we've got those Friendly Spirits. So again, a little bit weird there, but because we have a second pumpkin, this second pumpkin, when it attacks, will be able to, yeah, it'll just barely attack here, and this will fill my whole board and deal a decent amount of damage to Jack's Giant here with a bunch of Summoning Portal triggers that don't matter. I was going to say, I'm not sure if I cast that Toil and Trouble because I was just so used to needing to cast a spell every turn, but we no longer have to do that because we are Big Bad Wolf. So at this point, I mean, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for. I guess I'm just looking for more... Oh, I have to sneeze, excuse me. I guess I'm just looking for more pumpkins and other cool evil things to work with this summoning portal. But it's definitely a little bit of an awkward comp. We are going to get the Oni King triple here, and that is going to allow us to pick up Ivory Owl. Spear of Achilles could also certainly be good, especially with those Friendly Spirits that we got. And then I'm going to go ahead and toss the Ring of Revenge. And from here, I guess I put in like Queen of Hearts or something. I'm trying to stay at 20 gold. I don't really have any animals. I also don't really have any evil things, but let's just play the 11/11 that is a 4-cost minion rather than play anything else. And it didn't matter. It was just going to get sniped there by Sherwood Sure Shot. So looks like our second Friendly Spirit dies. That's going to give us a big attacking pumpkin. And this is just going to, again, give us 2 units. And unfortunately, the Applewood is going to have to attack like that. But when this Friendly Spirit dies, let's see where that goes. That's going to go on Oni King, allowing it to survive that hit. And then, unfortunately, our tree will be attacking again. And even with the Summoning Portal buff, it won't be enough. But the Kitty Cut Purse will be big enough to take out Romeo, and that will get us a sleigh as well. So we take out Merlin. We've got a little bit more extra gold here on top of the piggy bank income that we've always got working with. So 37 gold for the turn, down to the final 3. Still really don't have a comp. And I think that is a little bit regrettable for how sweet of a game this was. We can go ahead and cast a knighthood, no big thing there, to upgrade a pumpkin, and we still just have so much gold left over. So like that part's sweet, but then awkwardly when we find a third pumpkin in the next shop, we don't get a triple on that. But we just have a ton of pumpkins now, and maybe these pumpkins with these summoning portals could do something sweet. But again, it's really awkward that we're leading with like these 2 good units, and I would say we really haven't figured out exactly what we want to do. I probably do actually just want like a Doom Breath in this first slot being pumped up by the Owls and being pumped up by the Sporko. But, you know, the friendly spirits are still getting +2/+2 a turn, so these are going to be big triggers onto them. I think that friendly spirit hit the friendly spirit, so it attacked, and now we've got a huge Sporko. Again, these pumpkins are going to be really small, but Oni King makes the stuff that comes out of them big enough. And then this pumpkin should summon 3 things, because it's all both pumpkins die, and then it also saw the Sea Terror die. So decent amount of stuff here. Like we're creating 38 38s. That still seems pretty good. But Cupid seems like it's going to be a little bit of a nuisance here, depending on where that attacks. Yeah, Sporko's going to kill the pumpkin. This will fill my board with upgraded things, so that much is nice. Oni King gets to get in there and just trades with a baby bear. Bearstain trades with a rotten applewood. And then the spell means that, well, we just barely don't kill the Cupid here. Cupid's going to kill the Sporko, and then we trade with the Cupid and hit my opponent for 9 thanks to the upgraded pumpkin. But yeah, definitely some awkward stuff going on with this game. I think I would love to find a triple for the friendly spirit, maybe finally get out of the piggy bank, and okay, looks like we will be able to do that here. Part of the problem, though, is like I still have 23 gold right now, and only have 40 seconds left to spend it. So I don't want to just throw away all that gold. I'm just going to continue to skip the treasures. None of them were like particularly impressive here either. And then I pick up a Bearstain. Bearstain does work really well with the summoning portal, as I have mentioned, and it also does work really well with the Sporko. So it is not an evil unit, but I think it's still pretty good. I'm not sure if I'd rather have a baby bear or a wolf in sheep's clothing here, but we go for that. I then get an upgraded shoulder fairies, so I do think I have to try to find room for this, because it's going to get plus 38 health, and then it can get plus 39 attack times 2. So what is that? 78. So it's a really large unit. Yeah, it's a 95/95, and then it's going to get slightly shrunken by Robin Wood there, but definitely worth using it at least a little bit. First pumpkin is going to summon Monster Book, and that is at least somewhat cool that gets thrown in the Sporko spot. That means it's going to be enough to take out the Storm King, and then my second pumpkin again will summon 3 units. That'll just barely get us into the Sporko spot as well, and then Sporko will start attacking. Storm King will trade with the Rotten Applewood, and this Oni King is huge. I just realized that. And this pumpkin should be able to trade with the Spellweaver, and then this is a huge kill onto Jack's Giant because we killed them when the pumpkin popped. I think we did that to them with our last combat too, so 2 combats in a row. Ultimately, this comp is not that bad, but it's a little bit weird. It didn't really ever fully come together. At this point, I am just keeping the friendly spirit in because it pumps up the shoulder fairy and it gets pumped up by the Oni King. So certainly a little bit weird there. Moving around the Sporko for Echo Wood. Okay. Yeah, Echo Wood and shoulder fairies and Pumpkin aren't really like the most synergistic, but I do think I want to take Echo Wood here. Echo Wood also works pretty well with Oni King and with Friendly Spirit, so it actually is a rather good Echo Wood comp, and we still just have all of this random pumpkin stuff going on here too. So I think that this is fine. Gonna roll a Drink Me potion right before we are out of it here, and I throw some additional attack on the Oni King just so that way we are able to get more stats onto our shoulder fairies. I try to sell 2 units at the end so that way so that way I could get back to Piggy Bank status once more. But my opponent has a really powerful board here. Mirror Mirror plus Bear Stain is just really strong and going to make this battle really tough. Plus they also have like 3 baby bears and an Echo Wood. Now it's going to be possible to do something where we like scam my opponent, but unfortunately that Medusa just hanging out as my first unit, yeah, I didn't see any way that that Medusa stuck around for like however many combats it would need to be. So my opponent is, unfortunately with that, just going to be able to win the battle. I have no way to deal with this Echo Wood here, and definitely a little bit of an unfortunate way to go out, but I don't think, like I said, that I played this endgame super tight, and my opponent as a Horde Dragon with Mirror Mirror is just really well suited for the endgame. Didn't wind up being that spectacular of a finish, but I mean, come on, let's look at this. 62 gold, I think it was right around here. It was before we turn into the grandmother here. I think this shop, so we just left it with 41 gold. So we're going to have 41 gold for the term. That's going to give us +8 up to 49. And then we're going to get 13 more gold. So that is going to bring us up to 52. Let's take a look. Or 62 rather. And that's also where we went down to 7. But 61 up to 62 gold, pretty spectacular there. I've been having a lot of fun with Piggy Bank in the new patch. I do have some more recent Piggy Bank games as well, because now it feels like the treasure actually does something, and that is pretty cool. We did fall a little bit short, unfortunately, but it doesn't feel that bad because we did beat the Horde Dragon just like a combat or 2 ago, and then of course because they're Horde Dragon, they're just able to find some really powerful treasures. They had the Mirror Mirror, the Monkey's Paw, and the Phoenix Feather, even if I was somehow able to take out the Echo Wood, though I guess if I had Medusa'd it, that would have canceled out the Phoenix Feather, but still they also had the Cupid on top of that, and then of course all the good boy shenanigans going on. So that was definitely an uphill battle. Horde Dragon is kind of supposed to win that late game stuff, and unfortunately the big bad wolf was not able to do them in. But I still think this game was really sweet. We were able to make some awesome things happen with Piggy Bank, and it was a lot of fun. That's going to be it for me today, guys. New Storybook Brawl videos every day. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.